Have you been wondering why professional footballers swap their jerseys at the end of matches? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you why professional footballers swap their jerseys, and I'm going to tell you when and how it began. Just stay close and listen to me tell you exactly the reason why. Swapping of jerseys had been in existence since football began in 1931, and different players do this for different reasons. According to FIFA, the first record of jersey swapping was in 1931 when England and France had their memorable World Cup game. France came as underdog but eventually beat England to a 5-2, and it was amazing. England had dominated the game for quite a long time and nobody expected France to beat them. As a result, the French players gave their jerseys. They asked the England players if they could give them their jerseys as souvenirs. Since that particular game, swapping of jerseys had been set for some special games. But you need to know there are some circumstances. Some players, for personal reasons, would not like to exchange or swap jerseys with some particular players. You may think of the two greatest footballers of this 21st century. You'll be amazed that these two players don't have jerseys of each other in their cardboard or their collection. It happens. It's a personal reason. Players who mostly swap their jerseys are players who has similar style of football play, maybe an attacking footballer and an attacking footballer. They may eventually swap their jerseys, but most of the times you can see a striker swapping jerseys with a defender. It happens too. Meanwhile, some players too will never like to exchange jersey with some particular players. This eventually leads to rivalry between these two players, and it keeps the game interesting. Now let's answer the big question. Why do professional footballers swap jerseys? Number one is respect. It's a pride and honor to have a jersey of a bigger player or a famous player you've ever played against. So a younger footballer may request the jersey of a famous one to show respect and the kind of honor he has towards that particular player. While this art is meant to show respect to fellow players, the timing of this art matters very well. Example, in 2014, when Mario Balotelli swapped his jersey with Pepe, at that time they were losing 3-0 to Real Madrid. And Brendan Rodgers was very upset following the jersey swapping. The fans of Liverpool too, they saw the art as a disrespect to the club. Why should Mario Balotelli swap his jersey with Pepe when at the time when we are losing 3-0? There may be a circumstance when two players will want the same jersey. A match between Inter Milan and Arsenal, in which Marco Materazzi and Javier Zanetti requested for Arsenal's legend Thierry Henry's jersey. And do you know what happens? In this circumstance, the player may decide to give out the jersey to the more experienced player, which should be, in that case, Marco Materazzi. But he also looked at how many times he had encounter with the other player. In that particular match, Zanetti was given the task to match Henry everywhere he go. And he was with Henry throughout the game. So Henry decided to give the jersey to Zanetti. Number two, a player may request the jersey of another player to remind him of a beautiful game he ever had against that player. A defender may get a striker's jersey to mark the day he faced a very difficult opponent in an attack. But nevertheless, other players too enjoy swapping jerseys. They find it very beautiful to have jerseys of different players at home, so they can show it to maybe friends and relatives or even their kids. So what really happens to the jerseys players swap? When players get jerseys from each other, they sometimes give it out to children homes for souvenirs, or they may keep the jersey at home for remembrance, maybe to remind themselves they played against this player or something like that. I have a lot of football related videos on my channel. Just subscribe and put down anything you would like to have clarification on in football, and I'm going to do that for you as soon as possible. Just put it in the comment section, share the video, like it if you really enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe.